Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Sports Bus with me, Deepika, and coming up in the next half an hour. Virat Kohli reaches Perth to train for Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Coach Gambhir says Rohit's availability not confirmed yet. At English Premier League, Liverpool top by 5 points after Man City defeat. Ipswich celebrate their first victory of the season and first in 22 years. World number 1 Yannick Sinner begins ATP Finals with a victory. Fritz beat Daniil Medvedev. Let's begin with cricket first. Team India lost its second T20 international encounter to South Africa, levelling the series now to 1-1. And ahead of the third T20I, Team India eyes a comeback in its next do-or-die encounter. Our next report takes you through the highlights of how it happened in second T20I and what next India is looking to ensure a victory at the ongoing T20 series. Take a look. At the ongoing T20 series between India and South Africa, both the teams stand at a tie, having added a victory to its kitty each. It was South Africa's Tristan Stubbs who batted South Africa to a series-levelling victory over India at St. George's Park in second T20. Stubbs rescued South Africa from 66 for 6 and shared in a 42-run stand of 20 balls with Gerald Coetzee to end India's winning streak in T20Is that extended back 11 matches. How it happened. South Africa, who are positioned 6th in the T20I rankings, was strangled by Varun Chakravarti's 5 for 17 in the middle overs, but chased down the target in 19 overs, courtesy of an unbeaten 42-run partnership between Tristan Stubbs and Gerald for the 8th wicket. Put into bat first after losing the toss, India were rocked early after Sanju Samson fell on a duck off the third ball. Abhishek Sharma and Indian T20 captain Suryakumar Yadav were also dismissed in single digits. Tilak Verma briefly steadied the ship with a run-up ball 20 before being undone by a spectacular one-handed catch from David Miller at extra cover in the 8th over. Akshar Patel's unfortunate run out at the non-striker's end following a deflection of a straight drive from Hardik Pandya reduced India to 70 for 5 in the 12th over. With runs hard to come by, Rinku Singh also fell while attempting to accelerate. Though South Africa registered a victory in second T20 to level the series, but they were made to work for it. Varun Chakravarti's first international 5-4 left them reeling, while Captain Aiden Markram's poor form remains a concern. It has been 26 innings since he last scored a T20I half-century. Now, speaking on the upcoming T20I clashes, Varun Chakravarti said, "The mindset has to be aggressive, and when the score is low, you have to pick wickets, and that's when we can win this match. The same will be my approach in the next 2 games also, because it is going to be a do-or-die match for us." The third match of the India vs South Africa T20I series will be played at SuperSport Park in Centurion on Wednesday. The series will conclude at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on Friday. Sports Desk, DD India. Australia have named 2 uncapped players among their 13-member group for the opening ICC World Test Championship contest against India in Perth. Untried batter Nathan McSweeney appears to have won the race for the vacant opener Perth and is included in the 13-player squad, while white ball star Josh Inglis is the surprise inclusion for the contest at Perth Stadium that commences on the 22nd of November. McSweeney impressed for Australia A during their recent clash against India A and got the backing of former skipper Ricky Ponting. He looks set to open the batting alongside left-hander Usman Khawaja. And the India vs Australia 5-match Border-Gavaskar Trophy will be crucial for the hopes of both the sides, with Australia and India currently occupying the top 2 places on the World Test Championship table standings. Although the participation of Indian captain Rohit Sharma still remains unsure, as the Indian cricketers left for Australia earlier this morning and Rohit Sharma did not travel with the team. Indian cricket team's head coach Gambhir has said ahead of the clash, and I quote him, "When you play for your country, every series is important. Irrespective of the past, for us, it is 2 good teams playing against each other, and we are absolutely keen to go out there, perform and win the series. If Rohit is not available for the first test match, there is KL Rahul there. We will take a call closer to the first match in court." Meanwhile, on Team India's performance in the New Zealand series, Gautam Gambhir said, and I quote, "Obviously, the learning is that we accept that we were outplayed. I'm not going to sit here and defend. I think we were outplayed in all three departments. They were more professional and we accept that. I think the criticism we are receiving, we take it with both hands and we keep moving forward and keep getting better every day," unquote. So that was Gautam Gambhir's stand on New Zealand's clean sweep against India. Well, Indian team will be hopeful to put their best foot forward in the upcoming series as well with this. And now to discuss more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Naran Singh, who joins us from Newsroom. Good evening, Naran. When we talk about Gambhir, who's unsure about Rohit's availability, and he talks about professionalism also, will it backfire, considering the fact that Rohit is not there, or the team is very much in zone to cope up with this? Narayan.
No. Good evening, Deepika. If we talk about this context, this press conference, it was one of the most eagerly waited and anticipated press conference, and everyone in the cricketing world were waiting what will be the combination, as there was a doubts over the Rohit Sharma too, as you mentioned. But it was a 15-minute fiery press conference. Multiple questions were asked to Gautam Gambhir, especially regarding the presence of the Rohit Sharma in the coveted trophy. And still there is uncertainty over the presence of Rohit Sharma in the first test match in Perth because of some personal reasons. But we know that definitely a batsman of Rohit's caliber, definitely if he's not playing the first test match, and a captain of the Indian team is definitely going to miss, considering the fact that both the openers in place of Rohit Sharma, Abhimanyu Ishwaran, and talking about the other opener KL Rahul, they didn't perform well in the India A series against Australia A. Talking about the Abhimanyu Ishwaran, it was a golden opportunity for him to perform here and grab the spot, considering the fact that Rohit may not play the first test. But taking a look at his innings in the two tests, in the four innings, he had the scores of 7, 12, 0 and 17, and in the four innings he scored 36 runs, and three times in the four innings he was caught behind the wicket. So we can say that the way he performed, he lost an opportunity, and in that case, when asked about the KL Rahul, he backed the KL Rahul, because in the past few years we saw that KL Rahul has shown the flexibility. He had opened for the Team India, he played at the number 3, he played at the number 6. So he said that how many batsmen in the world can do this thing, this flexibility, what KL Rahul has shown. So if Rohit doesn't play the first test in Perth, definitely he hinted that KL Rahul may be there, but the performance of the KL Rahul in the series, that the he played in the second unofficial test where he gave the scores of 4 and 10, but he too failed to, we can say that the perform there in the Australian condition. Definitely, if you as you mentioned about the Rohit Sharma, he too struggled in the last 10 innings. We saw that he scored 133 runs and a single half century in the last 10 innings, 2 matches against Bangladesh and 3 against New Zealand. So we are hoping that definitely the form of Rohit Sharma, considering the WTC cycle, the WTC Chess Championship is on the line, the form of Rohit Sharma is very important.
Let's talk about Virat Kohli also, because he's the first one to touch down in Perth and begin with his practice sessions. And indeed, all eyes are on the numbers which he may turn up with. But what is your analysis of Kohli in T20Is of late?
Same, the question was asked to Gautam Gambhir regarding the performance of the Virat Kohli in the recent past, when he was asked by the reporter that Ponting has said that with such figures, with just 2 centuries in the last 5 years, any player doesn't deserve to be there to play the international cricket. And we know that Gautam Gambhir, the fiery character, he replied that the way Ricky Ponting said that he doesn't have any, who is he to say about the Indian cricket? It is better for him to plug the loopholes of the Australian cricket. There was a dip of form in the Kohli's form in the past few years. He was struggling against the spinners in the series against Bangladesh too, which was a 2-match series. There he was struggling, and in the 3-match series where India was whitewashed in the 3-match series for the first time, there too he struggles. And in the last 10 innings he has scored 192 runs, and apart from that, if you take a look, he also scored only just a single half century in the past 10 innings. But all in all, we can say that he is the veteran of the game, and he has, as you mentioned, that he already departed for the Australia. So we are hoping that the kind of player he is, he know how to get the mojo back, and he is one of the greatest of the game and the modern day great, and definitely his record in the Australian condition is fantastic. So he will also try to gain the lost form, and his form is important for the Indian team. Retaining the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, his form will be crucial.
Let's see what happens. Now, one question on the ongoing India versus South Africa T20I series as well. The 11-match winning streak comes to a halt for Team India. According to you, Narayan, will India be able to bounce back its centurion in the next T20I?
As you mentioned that the 11-match winning streak came to a halt, it's a big thing that if you take a look this year, India, prior to this match, India played 23 T20 international and they lost only one, and they also won the T20 World Cup this year where they defeated this South African team. And after that, India lost only one T20 international, that is against Zimbabwe, and after that they whitewashed Bangladesh, they whitewashed Sri Lanka in the T20 series. But in yesterday's match too, India had the chances. They were in the game at one point of time. South Africa was 66 for 6. But after that, the way Christian Stubbs and Gerald Coetzee scored, definitely they took away match from the India. Otherwise, India was in the match at that point of time. If India would have taken couple of wickets, definitely it was India's match also. But the kind of cricket the Indian players are playing in the absence of the veterans like Rohit Sharma, Ravindra Jadeja, Virat Kohli, who all retired from the T20 format. There was a smooth transition was seen in the T20 format, the way Indian batsman has played, and hoping that in Centurion too, it was a single blip. We can say that happened in the previous match. They will continue the winning momentum there also.
All right, thank you so much, Narayan, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on both the matches. Staying on cricket, Jos Butler's Fury 83 powered England to victory against the West Indies in the second T20I. Batting at number 3, Butler scored 26th 50-plus score of his career in T20 internationals with 8 fours and 6 sixes. England faced an early setback with Phil Salt's dismissal for a golden duck. However, Butler's 100-run partnership with Will Jacks helped England cruise over West Indies with more than 5 overs to spare. The victory has now given England a 2-0 lead over the hosts in the 5-match T20I series. The third T20I is all set to take place in St. Lucia on Thursday. And New Zealand successfully defended a modest total of 108 against Sri Lanka in a low-scoring thriller in Tembulla on Sunday. Lui Ferguson shone for New Zealand by picking up a hat-trick despite a calf injury. Lui, who was able to bowl only 2 overs, finished with impressive figures of 3 for 7, restricting Sri Lanka to a score of 103. Sri Lanka opener Pathum Nissanka fought valiantly, scoring 52 of 51 balls, but his efforts fell short as he was dismissed by Glenn Phillips in the last over. With this victory, New Zealand has levelled the series at 1-1. Now, Bangladesh's veteran batter Mushu Rahim has been ruled out of the upcoming 2-match test series against the West Indies. Mushu Rahim sustained a fracture on the tip of his left index finger while keeping wickets during the first ODI against Afghanistan in Sharjah. The injury ruled him out of the ODI series as well. The recovery time is estimated to be 4 to 6 weeks, thus ruling him out of the test series against the West Indies starting the 22nd of November. Following the test series, Bangladesh are scheduled to play 3 ODIs and 3 T20Is against the Windies. An Australian all-rounder Connell fractured his hand while batting against Pakistan in the third one-day international on Sunday. The 21-year-old left-hander, playing only his second ODI, was forced to retire hurt in Perth after being struck on the hand. Scans later confirmed Connell had fractured the fourth metacarpal on his left hand. Due to the injury, Cooper will miss the T20 series against the tourists. Josh Philippe will replace him in the squad for T20 series against Pakistan that starts in Brisbane on Thursday. Now let's talk about hockey. The 2024 Women's Asian Champions Hockey event begins today and the 10-day championship is taking place at the newly developed Rajgir Hockey Stadium in Bihar. The Indian women's hockey team, under the leadership of newly appointed captain Salima Tete and vice-captain Navneet Kaur, will begin its campaign against Malaysia today. The Indian team has been dominant in recent encounters with Malaysia, having defeated them 5-0 in the Jharkhand Women's Asian Champions Trophy back in the year 2023 by 6-0 in the Hangzhou Asian Games in the year 2022 and by 9-0 in Women's Asia Cup in the year 2022 as well. The tournament will also feature top teams including Paris Olympic silver medalist China as well as Japan, Korea and Thailand. On to tennis now. World number 1 and home favourite Jannik Sinner began his bid to win the ATP Finals for the first time with a 6-3, 6-4 defeat of tournament debutant Alexei Minor on Sunday. Sinner dropped behind early in the first set but quickly hit back to dominate the contest. He completed victory with an ace to make it straight 8 victories out of 8 games against the Minor. The 23-year-old was the runners-up to Novak Djokovic in the prestigious year-ending tournament the last year. The Italian has also won this year's Australian and US Open titles to open his Grand Slam account. An American tailor Fritz won his first match in the group stage of the ATP Finals when he beat Daniil Medvedev by 6-4, 6-3 on Sunday. Medvedev lost his composure after a string of double faults in the first set as Fritz beat the Russian for the first time in his career. The Russian soon lost his composure again in the second set, breaking a microphone with his racket while he was also given a point penalty. The victory was the 50th for US Open finalist Fritz in 2024 and his 8th top 10 victory of the season. From tennis, now let's move on to badminton courts. Star shuttler PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen will be eager to regain their respective form as they lead the Indian challenge at the Kumamoto Masters Japan Super 500 tournament beginning on Tuesday. Both the players have struggled to find their best form following disappointing performances at the Paris Olympics. While Sindhu reached the quarterfinals at the Denmark Open Super 750, Lakshya Sen suffered early exit at both the Arctic Open Super 500 and Denmark Open. Both the players have struggled to close out deciders after staying competitive in their matches. Despite these setbacks, Sindhu has expressed confidence in her preparations, having worked closely with new coaches Anup Sridhar and Korean legend Lee Sun-Choo. Meanwhile, Lakshya Sen will open against Malaysia's Leong Jinao with a potential showdown against 8th seed Anthony Chin Ting of Indonesia in the next round. Moving for a short break, but still to come on DD India Sports Buzz. Amnesty says FIFA must halt Saudi as the next World Cup venue. And up next is the inspirational story of 88 years old Pleuroteos Pyrilikas, who's inspiring many.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Sports Buzz. And now let's get you another update from Tour de France. Mark Cavendish won his final professional race at the two-day Tour de France Criterium in Singapore on Sunday, bringing down the curtains on his glittering 19 years career with a sprint finish. The 39-year-old Briton clinched his 166th career victory after crossing the line of the 25-lap, 2.3 kilometers course in the Singapore Criterium. Cavendish wore the number 35, symbolizing his record for Tour de France stage victories. Cavendish, who is the world's most decorated sprinter, announced his retirement last year before reversing that decision and breaking the all-time record for most stage victories at Tour de France during this year's race. And now from soccer, La Liga leader Barcelona fell to a 1-0 defeat at Real Sociedad on Sunday as it had a Robert Lewandowski goal controversially disallowed in Spain's San Sebastian. Geraldo Becker's 33rd minute goal consigned Barcelona to its second league defeat of the season. Barcelona was without teenage star Lamine Yamal after he suffered a blow to his ankle in the Champions League victory at Red Star Belgrade midweek and badly missed his spark. The Catalans failed to score in a match for the first time this season across all competitions as Real Sociedad held firm. The Catalans have struggled in San Sebastian in the past and were given another uncomfortable night in the Basque country. Despite scoring 40 goals in its first 12 league matches, Barcelona was unable to find the net or even create any significant danger in the final stages. And Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes bagged one goal in his team's spirited 3-0 Premier League victory over Leicester City on Sunday, a victorious send-off for Ruud van Nistelrooy in his final game as the interim manager. United has had 3 victories and a draw across all competitions since manager Erik ten Hag was fired on the 28th of October and replaced temporarily by Van Nistelrooy. The team is currently 13th in the league table on 15 points, 4 points adrift of the top 3. Meanwhile, Leicester is 15th on 10 points. Fernandes went his last 17 games under Ten Hag without scoring, but he celebrated his 250th appearance for United with a goal in the 17th minute. Leicester defender Victor Christiansen was credited with United's goal in the 38th minute, while Alejandro Garnacho netted United's third in the 82nd minute. On the other hand, Ipswich Town secured their first Premier League victory of the season when they defeated Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1. Ipswich took the lead just past the half-hour mark with a superb overhead kick by striker Modix. The visitors scored again in the 43rd minute through Delap to double the lead. Rodrigo Bentancur halved the deficit with a header in the 69th minute, but did not put the Ipswich goal under enough pressure in the closing stages, and they held out for the first Premier League victory since April 2002. And Chelsea and Arsenal played out a 1-1 draw in their latest Premier League clash at Stamford Bridge. The game was highlighted by Pedro Neto's equaliser that cancelled out Gabriel Martinelli's opening goal for Arsenal. Notably, Arsenal's lead did not last long. They went ahead in the 60th minute. Neto equalised in the 70th minute. The draw earned both Chelsea and Arsenal a point each, pushing them into the top 4 of the Premier League. Both the sides have 19 points each after 11 matches, with Chelsea owning a better goal difference. So now the EPL title race virtually comes down to 2 teams having played 11 matches so far. Our next report gets you more on this. Take a look.
The Premier League title race already looks like 2-horse contest just 11 games into the season. Liverpool had an ideal weekend, securing victory over Aston Villa, while Manchester City suffered a defeat to Brighton. A 1-1 draw between Arsenal and Chelsea added to Liverpool's advantage. Liverpool now leads City by 5 points and sits at least 9 points ahead of other contenders. Arsenal fans had hoped this might be their season, especially after pushing City close in last 2 campaigns. With City stumbling, losing 4 consecutive games across competitions, it seemed like a golden chance. Yet, under new manager Arne Slot, Liverpool has surpassed expectations, amassing 28 points out of 33 possible. Arsenal now trails the leaders by 9 points, the widest gap they have faced at this point since the final day of the 2021-22 season, where they finished 24 points behind City. Liverpool is only the 6th team in Premier League history to hold a 5-point lead after 11 games. Meanwhile, Pep Guardiola's City has hit an unusual low, losing 4 straight games for the first time in his career at Barcelona, Bayern Munich or City. Still, City's resilience is well known. They have only lost 4 league games after Christmas over the last 3 seasons and have overcome larger deficits than 5 points after 11 games. Naran Singh reports for TT India.
The Amnesty International and the Sports and Rights Alliance have said that FIFA must halt the process to pick Saudi Arabia as the host of the upcoming 2034 World Cup unless major human rights reforms are announced before the vote next month. Football's world governing body awarded the 2030 World Cup to Morocco, Spain and Portugal in October last year, while Saudi Arabia is the lone bidder for 2034 edition. Amnesty and the SRA said they had evaluated the human rights strategies proposed by the bidding countries and concluded that the risks were far greater in Saudi Arabia, and hosting the tournament in the Gulf country would lead to severe and widespread human rights violations. Saudi Arabia is spending billions to transform its global image from a country known for strict religious restrictions and human rights abuses into a tourism and entertainment hub. However, it narrowly failed to win a seat on the United Nations Human Rights Council last month. And next we bring you an inspirational story of a runner for whom age is just a number. The athlete took up running in his 70s and is now bagging multiple awards in athletics. Yes, more. Age is truly not a barrier when one is driven by grit and determination. And sports is one such platform that allows the aspirants to showcase their best of talents, to find the concept of age and its impact on one's body. Such is the story of 88 years old Prasar Bharati, who successfully completed the 41st edition of Authentic Marathon of Athens in 6 hours and 31 minutes.
I started running at the age of 73, and so far I have run 11 marathons, with this year being the 12th.
Inspired by his son, an ultra-marathoner, he took up running in his hometown in northern Greece at the age of 73. This marks his 12th time completing the iconic 42.195 kilometers race from the tomb of Marathon to the Pan-Athenic Stadium.
Everyone who sees me doesn't believe that I am this age and that I am running a marathon. They don't believe it. I say, why wouldn't you believe it? Since we all can do it. You can also run, maybe less, but you can, as long as you want to.
As he says, people often don't believe his age when they see him running a marathon, but it definitely inspires a lot and infuses a spirit that is not only remarkable but unshakable. Sports Desk, DD India. And that's all for this edition of DD India Sports Buzz. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching Sports Buzz. Namaskar.